Hey everyone, in today's video I decided to test out how powerful a Bowzon could be without any rune words. This includes any rune words on the Mercenary as well. Even without any, this build has excellent crowd control, single target damage, and with dodge evade void, it has pretty decent survivability. The gear, it's kind of on the expensive end for an optimized output. However, I'll still be showcasing and showing what you could possibly be doing. Before we begin, if you could please like this video and subscribe to help my channel grow, I would greatly appreciate it. So I'm going to start off with the gear, and again, I am not using any rune words. I know this build could be more powerful, but I wanted to try something different. So for my weapon, I chose to go with Wind Force. I believe this is the best non-rune word bow. Back in 08, this was my favorite bow. It changed the stats a little bit since then, but it's just still powerful even if you use rune words on this build. Like, you could put a faith on your mercenary and wear wind force and just have a lot of power. But this is my bow of choice, and in it I put a 40 enhanced damage, 15 IAS jewel, just to give it a little bit more power. For my armor, it's a little bit more on the expensive side. However, you can find the base of it by shopping at an NPC. It'll take a bit to get, but I went with a Jeweler's Archon Plate of the Whale. It has 100 life with it, as well as 4 sockets. And then I put 4 40 ED, 15 IAS jewels to give 160 enhanced damage and 60 increased attack speed. This was pretty common back in the day for PvP. I enjoy this armor still. I think it's a good alternative to Fortitude, but this is the armor I chose to go with since I can't use Fortitude. For my helmet, I went with another hard item to get. It's an Artisan's Diadem of Speed. It comes with 30 faster run walk. You could get one that has 100 life on it. It just depends on if you need some more faster run walk, but they come with 3 sockets. And then again, I put 3 40 ED, 15 IAS jewels in here. I will be doing a budget build on this, but for now, I'm just going over to see how powerful this build could be. For my gloves, I went with Laying of Hands. They have 20 increased attack speed. I don't need the knockback on the gloves since Wind Force gives knockback, so I didn't go with any rares or crafted. But if you need any other stats or something alternative, you could go with some crafted gloves or some rare gloves. But if you just need something basic in the meantime, Laying of Hands is a decent one to use. Or you could use Lava Gouts. They have 20 increase attack speed, and they enchant you at the same time to give you a little bit more attack rating and damage. For my boots, I went with War Travelers. They give plus the strength, plus the vitality, and they give you some faster run walk. Those are just nice boots to have on a Bowzon. They're pretty typical. For my amulet, I went with the Cat's Eye. Again, it gives more faster run walk and some increased attack speed, so my IAS is just through the roof right now. And it gives some dexterity, which adds to your bow damage. For my rings, I could always go with a crafted ring with stats for one of them, but I went with double Raven Frost. They give plus to attack rating and plus to dexterity, which adds to your damage. And it gives some mana since multi-shot takes down a lot, even though Wind Force has some good mana leech. It's just nice to have a little bit more mana boost. Plus, you can't be frozen. For my belt, I went with Nosferatu's. It gives a little bit more increased attack speed, and then this is where your life leech comes in, and it slows the target down a little bit. So it's a nice belt to use. An alternative one, if you really want to, would be Razor Tail, but I'm going with Nosferatu's for now. For my charms, I'm going with the highest torch that I could get with stats, and then the highest Annie I could get, and then I went with 37 3 2020s. I like poison small charms. They're just fun for me. I used to mess around with them back in the day a lot, especially since you get a small one with 451 poison damage on it, but they don't add any other attributes. Like, this one has max damage, attack rating, and life. It just has 451 to poison damage, which would increase your damage a lot, but this helps with attack rating and life. So that's why I went with these, to try to give the maximum output I could get with this. For my mercenary, I went with an Act 2 Might Aura one. I didn't go with Holy Freeze since Nosferatu gives me some slow target, so I tried to do a little bit more damage. For my weapon, I went with an Eth Reaper's Toll for him, and then I went with an Arcane's Valor, and I went with a Vamp Gaze with an Umrune in it, so he has max resistances and he has some leech life. so he shouldn't die, but Durga often lets me down. So this is what I went with my Mercenary. Feel free to switch up however is needed. For my skills, I put no points into Javelin and Spears because you're a Bowzon. For passive and magic, you want to get dodge, avoid, and evade to at least level 14 with the plus skills that you have to hit the maximum percentages here. And then I put 1 point into Valkyrie just for a meat shield. Then I put 1 point into Pierce. I maxed out Penetrate to boost my attack rating since I'm using multi-shot. Then I put my remaining points into Critical Strike to try to do double the damage. For my bow skills, I got 1 point into Strafe in case I just want to switch it up and do something a little bit different. I maxed out Guided Arrow. This is your singular target damage and it hits really hard. And then I put enough points into multi-shot to give me 24 arrows. For my stats, for strength, you just want enough to wear your gear. Wind Force is 134 strength, so that's the most you're going to need. So it's about 80 base. It'd probably be a little bit less depending on what stats you get on your Torch and Annie. So roughly around 80. Again, it just depends on your charms. For my life, I put just a little bit points into Vitality. I went more Glass Cannon with this build just for more power. So I don't like having low life unless I'm an Energy Shield Sorceress. So I put some points into here, and then I put all the rest of my points into Dexterity to boost my attack rating for multi-shot and to give me more damage output. My resistances, yeah, they suck because I'm not using any rune words like Fortitude to boost that. I could put runes in some gear, but again, it's taken away from my power. And plus, you just mow everything down. If you need resistances, like if you're going to Act 5 and fighting souls, this is more of a PvP setup. But if you're going to be fighting souls or something like that, you can always put wisps on and a T-Gods, or just switch out how you need to for your gear. And as you can see here, these are the stats after wearing everything we have. We have Life Leech, Mana Leech, increased attack speed, everything that you need to know on your character. So this is my build on a Bowzon that doesn't use any rune words. I know some of the gear is quite expensive. I will be doing a budget one later on. But again, I wanted to see what I could come up with a damage for my maximum output. If you have any comments, suggestions, or anything, please comment below. And if you could give this video a like and subscribe to help me grow, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys.